Alright, so this is week 3. I'm Mark.
I'm Ryan.
Kenny.
And this week we're talking about, we're discussing and explaining to each other and to you guys the difference and similarities between baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, and millennials. And then we're going to discuss how you would position the products of a Honda Civic, an Apple iPhone 6, or presidential candidates to the minds of those four generations. With these generations, baby boomers had parents that were hard workers, but they didn't really have careers, so they were really left with nothing. Baby boomers were the first to really start careers, and because of that, Generation X, those kids were given money and had something to look forward to, so they were able to focus on school and focus on getting scholarships and stuff like that. Nowadays, millennials and Generation Y were more technical savvy than the other two generations of X and baby boomers. 90% of Generation Y is online, which is higher than the two generations before it, or any other ones before that. Baby boomers and Generation X are really hard workers, while Generation Y and millennials are more smart workers. We're kind of more lazy, we're laid back. If we think that our work doesn't matter, we don't do it. We'll go back and forth. Before baby boomers, why they're called baby boomers is because so many people had babies after World War II that they decided, we're gonna have babies, and women stayed at home. After the baby boomer era, those people, they decided to become, women wanted to work, and they'd rather work than stay at home with kids. So they averaged 2.2 kids, but they were having kids at a young age and were getting married early. Generation Y and millennials, they have decided to start getting married later. Women and men like to get married at the age of 30 now. Statistically, they like getting married later. And because of that, divorce rates have gone down big time. Degree-wise, more people in younger generations like Generation Y and millennials are getting more degrees. From 2000 to 2008, adults with a bachelor's degree went from 24% to 28%. Generation X women are more intelligent than men, statistically, because, like I said, baby boomers started that feminist movement and wanted to work in the workforce. So that generation had 25% more likely to have jobs than the previous generations. Now over to Ryan.
I'm going to be talking about the Honda Civic. In the baby boomers generation, safe car to drive with children on board because of all the babies that they were having would be a good way to sell it. It's a good family car and fuel efficient. Generation Y, easy to air out, tons of room in the back seat for passengers, and tons of storage space for the sex, drugs, and rock and roll era. Generation Y, best car for its price and really good on gas and reliable and long lasting. My dad was born in that generation, and he said it was very important to them to have a long lasting car. Generation Z, or the millennials, better on gas but also potential to be upgraded into a good looking car. Has an aux cord and a place to charge your phone. Also has a big trunk to fit subs in, and also has a backup camera. Our generation is huge into gadgets and loud music.
Okay, so I'm just going to look at the iPhone 6X, and first of all, how the iPhone will be advertised to the different groups of people. So for me, baby boomers and Generation X, it would be better to advertise on TV and the commercials because they don't really go on the internet and specifically look for videos on the iPhone, whereas the Generation Y and the millennials do. So if the company advertises on social media, this will get everyone interacted within the millennial group and the Generation Y. Specifically, Generation Y would be Facebook, because the age of those people now is between 23 and 36. So everyone basically between that group has Facebook, and for the others, for the millennials, it'll be Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. So what the company should look at in terms of why each group should use it. For the baby boomers, it will be the phone's big, easy to use, and it's just good navigation. That's what that era wants. They just want it to be as easy as possible and to see everything on the screen. For the Generation X, it would be pretty similar. Just being able to text easy, to make phone calls easy, and to navigate through the phone. If we look at Generation Y and Millennials, it goes more into the technology base of the phone, like why it is better than the other phones. So, for example, the new apps, how fast it is. If the camera is better on this phone, that would be better for Generation Y in terms of taking photos around. And for Millennials, the better camera will be better for Instagram and Snapchat. And also just looking at the new games, all millennials now like to play all the games on the phone. That's what they're doing all the time on it. So that's what the company should look at. And in terms of just all of the groups, just because the bigger is better, so the bigger the phone, the better it is for everyone and easier to use. Now Zach is gonna presidential.
I'd like to talk about president candidate. If the president candidate is baby boomers, because they are characterized that high education, high income, and so they would like to give you a more vacation. And Generation X is now becoming parents, so they would like to support family and community. Generation Y is educated, so they would like to offer financial aid as they received, and millennials is most impacted by technology, so they will speak to social media, for example, President Obama using Twitter, and they will offer more employment opportunity.
And there you go. That's week 3.